All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Handbone Fishing. We are on Lake, or High Rock Lake, I guess is how you say it. Fishing the QCKBF, Yadkin Yolo, and we've been fishing for about a half hour so far. We got to fish as soon as we launched, so fishing in the dark, throwing a buzzbait. No bites yet, but we'll see what happens here. It looks like, I'm able to see a little bit. It looks like the water might be down a little bit. I don't know if you can see those rocks in that water line. That's pretty bad. So we're gonna keep throwing some top water here and keep moving, covering some water. But I am fishing blind today. I have no graph at all. Not that I had much of one anyway, but still waiting on my drive to get fixed. So with my transducer mounted on the cavitation plate, I'm not going to drill holes in somebody else's stuff. So fishing blind today, but I think it's going to be one of those, docks and top water early, and then switching probably exclusively to docks and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what we're limited to today, because I have no idea where any like offshore stuff is here. So we're going to do that, and we're going to put the head mount on and see if we can get some topwater blow ups, some big old chonky boys. So let's get to it. I'm going to start with I've been throwing around this V-twin buzzbait, so I'm going to keep doing that. The water looks pretty clear. Got a boat coming by. All right. I've fished this part of this lake several times in tournaments. Done pretty well both times. Came here last year for the High Rock event. So looking for 4 bites. That's all I need today. 4 quality bites. Got lots of natural shoreline here, along with docks. I haven't seen any mayflies yet. I figured I haven't seen any this year at all. I know there's some out and about because I've seen some pictures posted, but I have yet to run into any. There's I think 3 people launched at this ramp today. So either some people are on a good bite somewhere else, or I made a good decision. I think today's gonna be a tough day. I think it is going to be a tough day. Wouldn't surprise me if there's I think there's 87 people fishing. It wouldn't surprise me if there's only 30 limits. Wouldn't shock me at all. Oh, is that a bald eagle? I think so. Dang old bald eagle. Oh, there's one. There we go. I don't even think he's gonna keep. Nope. I don't even think this one's gonna keep. I'm embarrassed to even hold this one up to the board, but like I said, it's bad luck. Nope. 10-incher. Bad luck not to check. And on a day like today, I'm gonna need all the luck I can get. Oh, there's one. Uh-oh. That's gonna keep. That's gonna keep. He thinks he's big. He's not. It's a keeper, but it's not big. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. 12 and 3/4. Jerk. All right, so there's one on the board. Definitely gonna have to replace him today, but let's keep it rolling. All right guys, mid-morning update. I've been fishing for about 3 hours. I've got one keeper on the board at a 12 and 3/4, and I've caught one other one that was a short, and I'm struggling to figure out kind of what's going on. There's not much of a topwater bite going on, and both of the bites that I got were on a sassy stick, but I don't know if that's it either. I've fished around some really good looking stuff. You know, I think I'm gonna have to go and start hitting some of those deep water docks, tie on that Ned rig and a drop shot or something like that, and really focus on that for the rest of the day, because this is getting to be it's getting to be frustrating. I feel like I'm wasting time, so I think I'm gonna make a move and we'll go from there. All right. That's not gonna work. All right, so a cool thing happened after this. My camera decided to shut off. The very same camera that I'm using to film this right now just shut off. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know any reason that it happened, but it did. I looked back at it probably about an hour or so before the end of the event, and it wasn't recording anymore. It was on, but it wasn't recording. So I have no idea what happened. You know, maybe a brim bite when I went to set the hook or something, it knocked it and it hit stopped record. But anyway, shortly after the end of this video, obviously there was that, or the last clip, there was that short that I caught. I think I caught like maybe one or two other shorts, and you know, was pretty frustrated. Pulled into this little pocket where it had a water drain coming in, like a little creek coming in. Sometimes the water is a little bit cooler in there than it usually is, than the rest of the lake is anyway. I don't know because I didn't have my graph, but I flipped a Ned rig around some of those rocks there and caught a 14 incher. which at that time I only had a 12 3/4 in the boat. So that 14-incher was like, yes, finally got a decent bite. So I went through there, and then honestly, I fished for probably about another 2 or 3 hours with nothing. You know, throwing the Ned rig, throwing the drop shot, picked up the jig for a while, and had no luck whatsoever. But then I moved over to the other side of the channel that I was fishing, and I came up on this dock, and I want to say that I remember it from from last year's event. Anyway, there was a brush pile down underneath the dock. You know, it was very clear on the dock with like rod holders, and there was like a bait bucket or something like that the guy or whoever lives there fishes, because it very much looks like they were dumping Christmas trees at the end of the dock for crappie. Well, you know, I threw the drop shot in there. I didn't remember that the brush pile was down there, but I threw the drop shot in there, and I got hung up a little bit, but I was able to shake it loose. So I'm just shaking it. I get it loose, pitch back in there. I'm like, well, you know, I mean, I got to fish around it, and I get a bite, and it's a keeper. I think it was like my 13-inch or something like that. It wasn't huge, but it was a keeper anyway. So get that fish off, but then I went back in, flipped in there again, and caught a crappie on a drop shot on a robo worm. So I was like, all right, well, I just got to keep weeding through this. I mean, that's 2 bites in a row. I'm just going to keep weeding through. Pitched in there again, caught a short. Decided, all right, well, I just got to keep going. There's going to be a big one that bites eventually. So I flip it in there, and I get hung up, and I'm shaking it off to try and get it off. And I'm getting frustrated because literally probably 15 feet away from me, like, here's me, or here's the dock, here's me, and then right here are boats, like bass boats and wake boats on like full plane, just zipping by. And I mean, close enough for me to literally just underhand flip a jig right into the driver's seat. So I was really getting frustrated. But anyway, I'm shaking this rod, you know, to try and get the drop shot unhooked, because for some reason I wasn't using weedless. Anyway, it comes off, and then I get a bite. But the line was wrapped around the end of my rod, and I didn't know that, but I was pulling up, I'm fighting this, I'm like, oh, okay, and I'm trying to reel, and I can't turn the reel at all. Like, it's just not, you know, nothing's happening. So I'm like fighting this fish, and all of a sudden it jumps, and it's like a 3-pounder, and I'm like, there's my big bite. And of course this has to happen. And if you remember last tournament's video where I'm like, here's a lesson, don't freak out. Well, I freaked out, and I was like trying to turn this, and because I just was having a bad day, and I couldn't, it wasn't like wrapped around several times. I'm like sitting here twisting. The fish jumped like 2 or 3 times, and I couldn't get it unwrapped. I'm sitting there holding it. I'm having to manage all this wake that's coming in. Nothing was working. So I'm like trying to pull this fish in lightly, hand lining it in. It feels me, and it takes off the other way, and I just had too much pressure on it. Boop, there goes the line. And honestly, it's probably a good thing that I didn't have this camera running, because the profanity was, there was a lot of profanity, not gonna lie. But then, so I gather myself, I finally get the thing unwrapped. It was wrapped in a way that I couldn't even get when I was standing up trying to just pick at it, and had a bunch of line that I could use. So, you know, it took me a while to get it unwrapped. Anyway, so I get retied and everything, and I head back to this dock, and I promise you, I'm not making this up. I'm like, all right, there's got to be another fish there. I got 3 fish. I just need 1 more for a limit. I can get a limit and be good. I get to the end of the dock and the dock owner's walking out, and you know, she's like getting messing around on her dock or whatever. And I say, hey, do you mind if I fish on the end of your, at the end of the dock? And she's like, well, I'm gonna swim. And then I was like, okay. And she literally set her stuff down, and then like as I'm sitting there, set her stuff down, puts her feet in the water and gets in the water. Like, the one dock that had a good brush pile at the end that was just loaded with fish, and she's right when I'm going by, has to be sitting there to swim. So look, nothing you can do about that. I mean, you know, it's her dock, you know, it is what it is. So I took off, and you know, I kept fishing hard. I was like, you know, it was a tough day for everybody. So, you know, when the leaderboard turned off, I knew that I wasn't too far out of it. So I was like, I just need a limit, and we'll see where it happens. You know, we'll see where it goes. And then this happened. Oh, don't you dare come off of there. Okay. No. You're staying down. No, you stay down. No, stay down. Stay down. I can't believe this. Nope. Stay down. Stay down. Oh, whew. All right. All right. 17-incher at the buzzer. That's pretty nice. That's a great way to end the day. Nice largie. Now, if I'd have had that other one that I lost, I'd have a decent, I'd be looking at something decent. Jerk. So yeah, that was a good 17-inch fish, but that was literally the last 10 minutes of the day. I got that fish in the net and was freaking out because I didn't know how much time I had left, but I had like 8 minutes, so no problems there to get that picture taken. So that was it, and then I just headed in and was really disappointed. Ended up finishing 12th again. That's 2 tournaments in a row at 12th place. There wasn't as much of an entry, as big of a field in this event, so I missed a payout. I think 58 and a quarter or 58 and a half, something like that, was the last spot that paid out, and I ended up with 57 inches. So pretty bummed about that one, but that's just how it happens. It's how, you know, sometimes it's the way she goes. So but had a good time. You know, that lake, High Rock Lake, is one of those lakes that has monsters in it. You know, we don't fish a lot of the Yadkin chain in Queen City, and a lot of the times I think the last couple of years we has been in like the super big heat of the summer, and it doesn't get a chance to show off as much as it should. But, you know, Baden, Tillery, Tuckertown, High Rock, those are some great fisheries, and definitely have some studs in it. So I appreciate you guys watching. We got the Queen City Emerald School of Excellence charity event coming up next on Carolina Clash style, so between Lake Wiley, Mountain Island, and Norman. And you know,
BizBaits is throwing down for it again. It's going to be another great event. You put your entry in, you get a bag of baits, and that's it. That's all you can use for the day. And you know, I'm looking forward to that one. That one's gonna be fun. It always is, trying to add another emerald to the collection. But I appreciate you guys watching. I know this video got cut a little bit short with the camera mishap, but it happens, and I just didn't notice it. So hopefully the next time I'm out, that doesn't happen, and we get some more content for you. I mean, it's blistering hot out here. You know, mid 90s every day, and sitting in a kayak in this type of heat is not something that I'm particularly fond of doing. So I'll get out as soon as I can when it's not just absolutely ridiculously hot out. So again, have a good one, guys. Take it easy.